Lala here, and as you know, I had my breast implants removed and I've been sharing pieces of it on social media, and because of it, a lot of people have been asking me questions, direct messages, text messages, emails, wanting to know what that process was like, why I decided to get my implants removed, and I feel like it's time for me to share my journey. But before I do, I feel it's important that I take it to the very beginning as to why I even got breast implants. And she brings up a good point, because obviously we're twin sisters, we work together, we live together, and I never really knew why Lala wanted to get breast implants. Once she made the decision, that was it, and I really didn't want to intervene in her life and in her decision, but I just never knew why. I also didn't understand it. I thought that she didn't want to be twins anymore, which is, I know, weird to think. So ridiculous. But now I want to know, like, why did you get implants? So again, another question that I've been asked. You know, a lot of people feel that women are insecure, or that women get breast implants because they're missing something in their life, or they're not happy with themselves. And for me, at least my experience, it was nothing like that. I'm actually a pretty secure person, very confident, and I honestly got implants because it was more of like an annoying thing, you know, when it came to bras and, you know, the stuffing, or maybe I wanted to wear a certain dress, but I couldn't because I didn't have enough to really wear the dress or the shirt, or like what Lulu said, fill it up. So it was more of like this annoying thing that I kind of didn't want to keep dealing with, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna get them. And I didn't really ask anybody permission because I don't have to, but I didn't ask anyone's opinion about it either, because it's not that I didn't care about it, it's that I knew that I was gonna get it done, and no matter what anybody told me, I was gonna do it anyway. I was so decisive on it, and it's something that I had been wanting to do earlier on, and I kind of waited to make sure that I had enough money for it, because I refused to ask anybody for money, and so I went ahead and did it. In fact, she was very upset with me. She didn't understand why. She didn't even come with me to the doctor's appointment. Well, it's what she said. Like, before, I was one of those people that would question, like, are you not happy? Are you insecure? Did some guy tell you to do this? I was one of those because I didn't get it. But when I started to think about it, I'm like, she always did say that she wanted to get breast implants, because as a woman, you want to wear those nice, cute outfits. And also, it's so not in my nature to have gotten breast implants because of a man. I've never done anything just because of a man. I do it for myself, as should any woman. Whatever they decide to do with their bodies or whatnot, do it for yourself, not for anybody else. But I was sad. I didn't want her to get the breast implants. In any surgery that you do that you have to be put under, you know, there's always that one little chance that something negative can happen. And so, as a twin sister and just as a sister, you know, I didn't want that. But if this is something that she wanted to do, who was I to impose that? And so April 29th of 2019 is when I got my implants. And it was interesting because, you know, you always do your research, right? You want to know what doctor to use. You want to know what type of implants you're going to get. And so I did. What type of implants? Because again, I did zero research. This was her thing. So we spend a lot of time looking for doctors. You know, you do, at least you should, when you're gonna get implants, you wanna look at reviews from doctors. You wanna scope out which one, how much experience they've had. And so I did that. I made sure to do my research, to go with a doctor, get consultations to see how I felt with each doctor. And I finally decided to go with one that a friend recommended. And I knew that I wanted silicone because my older sister and my cousin had gotten silicone and I liked how they looked. I didn't want to go with saline. And then I decided to go, there's 3 ways you could get implants. You could go through the nipple, you could go under, or you could go actually through the side, through like the armpit, through the side. And the doctor that I went to decided that it would be best if I went through the nipple. So once I did all that, I did my research, I felt comfortable with the doctor, I felt comfortable with the size of the implants, and I felt comfortable with it being through the nipple and under the muscle. I was excited. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Again, I did not even go to the consultation with Lala because I was hoping that she would have a change of heart In hindsight, I think that was pretty mean on my end because I should have been there. Yes, she should have. But as a sister, I was hoping that she wouldn't. Needless to say, obviously she was there for the surgery. And I'm choosing not to mention the doctor's names because I'm not in the business of trashing anybody.
Well, they did their job.
They did their job, and everything went perfect. I was so happy. I was wearing my little cute dresses.
Well, when you had the surgery, like, what was the feeling when you went in before, like knowing, okay,
I was actually excited. So I didn't have any negativity around me. So I was just really excited. I wanted it to just be over, wake up, and boom, I got a new set of boobies. And for me, the process of getting implants was pretty easy. I really didn't feel any pain. I do have a high tolerance of pain, but I didn't really feel much pain. I didn't take any pain medication, not even Tylenol.
But when you obviously got out of the hospital and you finally were able to
well, I didn't get to see myself until like 2 days later because you are kind of like
bandaged up.
So
but what went through your mind when you saw
the first time I saw myself with implants, I was shocked because I didn't think they were gonna be as big, and I knew that they were swollen, obviously, so I knew that they were gonna come down a little bit. But I was like, oh my God, I had a feeling of like, what have I done? But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to start buying new swimsuits and little t-shirts and whatnot. And I remember the third day after my surgery, I was already at like a little lounge, hanging out and like having a good time. That's how easy it was for me. I didn't really feel pain. I know other women have had to lay in bed for a whole week, and it wasn't like that for me. I was literally out the door, kind of partying it up the third day out of surgery. Probably shouldn't have done that, but everything went well. I ended up going to Spain that summer, like around July. My surgery was in April. I went to Spain in July, and I went to Ibiza, and it was great. I had a whole bunch of fun. I looked pretty, I felt amazing. So after Ibiza, that's when things really started to fall apart. I noticed that maybe a month later, my boobs became uneven. They were kind of like lopsided. One was up here, the other one was down there, and I'm like, what is going on here? This doesn't look right.
So what did you decide to do when you saw your boobs uneven?
I knew I had to do something, so I reached out to my surgeon, but I didn't really like the fact that he was kind of dismissing me, kind of putting me in the back burner. I know he was very busy, but I didn't like the vibe I was getting, so I figured, all right, let me go look for another surgeon that could fix this. And so I did. I found a surgeon that said he could fix it, and I was like, because now I have to pay another surgeon to have this fixed. That's more money.
Now let me tell you, at this point, I'm seeing red flag. This is the point where I'm like, Lala, I think you need to take them out. Your body's rejecting it. No, bad idea. Let's just remove them.
Yes, you're right. I should have taken that as a red flag, but my mindset was I didn't just spend so much money to get the implants to just take them out. I figured I have to at least try again and fix it, because it happens, not every surgery goes
the way that you want,
the way that I want. So I figured, no, I'm gonna get them fixed and everything will be fine. So I had to pay more money now to get them fixed. Now this doctor suggested that I go bigger because he said that my implants, one of them fell out of the pocket because maybe they were too small for my frame. So, I mean, he's the surgeon, he's the expert. Made sense to me when he explained it.
But to me, it made no sense. And to my mom, it also didn't make sense because we have a small frame up here. And so to me, to get bigger boobs, I'm like, how is this going to look? It's not gonna look right. And the way he said it didn't make sense to me, but I'm not a surgeon, so I can't take away from the doctor. But again, this is where I reiterated and I told Lala, hey, maybe just get rid of them. Your body's rejecting them. We're all telling you, maybe you should just get rid of them.
But I didn't listen. I figured, no, I gotta give this a second chance, you know? And so I went through with the surgery, and once I got out of surgery and I saw myself, I knew, I'm like, this is a mistake.
Why?
Because
How did they look? How did you feel?
They looked very big. I did not expect them to be that big. And then I had blisters around the nipple. Like, it wasn't a smooth surgery the way that my first surgery was. It took longer for me to recover. My nipples grew. They were like the size of dinner plates.
They were ginormous.
Usually after maybe like 2 months of the surgery or 3 months, they start to like soften up, and you know, you have to massage them. And mine were not getting soft at all. If anything, the opposite. They were getting very hard, and I began to feel insecure.
And at this point, Lala would sometimes tell me, hey, how do they look? And I didn't know what to tell her, because I honestly wanted to be blunt and say, they look horrible. I don't like them. You should have gotten them removed. But I didn't want to make her feel bad. She had only had them for like 9 months, you know? Everybody is different.
By the way, you didn't have to, your facial expression said it all to me.
Right, so I wanted to be nice. So I'm like, you know, they're gonna get there, is what I would tell her.
They're gonna get there, yeah.
But I feel like, and Lala, I think, you know, deep down inside you knew, all knew, that you knew that it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. And I felt bad, because I'm like, all this money, and what she did to her body, the struggle she went through, I'm like, this isn't fair. Like, she shouldn't be going through this.
Yeah, and so then, you know, I did become kind of like, I began to close myself off. My boyfriend mentioned to me that he felt that I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, and, you know,
you have to understand.
I deep down, I'm like, yeah, they're right. Like, he's right, my sister's right, my mom's right, but I kind of kept trying to be like, no, you guys, it's not like that. But deep down, I'm like, yeah, they're right. And I felt it. And then 3 big things happened.
But before you even say that, I think for those who do know us, and for those who are just learning about us, Lala has always been the happy-go-lucky, she's down for whatever, I've always been not the opposite, but more kind of like straight line. She's like, let's go out, let's do this, bubbly. And she was becoming an introvert, something that she had never been.
Got to a point where I didn't even want to take pictures. I'm like, no.
She's always on social media.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to be on social media, or no, I don't. You take the picture, or you do that. I don't want that. And that was so unlike me. And so, like I said before, 3 big things happened where I felt, all right, this is it. These are signs. I can't ignore them anymore. I have to get rid of my implants. This has pretty much been the journey I had when it came to getting implants. And for any mother, parent, husband out there that has a wife, a girlfriend, a daughter that is thinking about getting implants, my advice, the only thing I could say, I can't tell you to not do it, but my advice is do your research. Research the doctors, what experience they've had, look at their reviews, look at the side effects of getting implants, the good, the bad, because there's a lot of bad out there, especially recently. There's a lot more information about that. So that was my journey with my implants. Now, next, I'll be sharing my journey with explanting, getting rid of them, taking them out. And I hope that you stick around for that.